We're done with school now, and he refuses to reply my texts. When I visit him at home, he doesn't talk to me unless I ask a question. All he does is to play with his phone till I get bored and decide to leave. A week ago, I asked for a breakup because I felt I was bothering him. He didn't give in to my request, but rather apologized again and asked for another chance. I told him I will think about it. It's been a week now, and he hasn't even called or texted me to check up on me. I still love him, and I want to give him another chance, but I'm scared that he will still ignore and avoid me. I don't know what to do, and I'm really confused. I need your advice. Please help. Yeah, ladies, munch on that for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rosina.
Thank you.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything.
Yeah.
I'm in very deep thought. So they're in the same school, probably the same class, and she felt they had a thing going. See, I don't know. This peer pressure, sometimes it does a lot to influence the kind of decisions that we make. And I don't know. Sometimes you think that you don't really care about what other people are saying, but the more they are saying it, the more it kind of like sticks into your head. So if a lot of guys have told them, you know, she's not good enough for, I mean, you're not good enough for her, I mean, she deserves better, and it sinks into your head. A time is going to come, even though the guy wants it so much. Who cries this? Everybody's saying that she's too good for me. I mean, I hear, you know, then instead of appreciating that person that you have, now your response becomes negative because you want to show her that you are somebody.
Right.
You are not as, I mean, she is not too good for you. So you start punishing her and wanting to see her beg you for your attention to make you feel like you are actually good enough for her. That's one side. But the other side is also that, you see, this night we keep saying that, you know, African men, Charlie, sometimes no matter how much they are traveled or how much open-minded they seem, going forward to declare your emotions ahead of the man showing you any form of emotion, most of the time it's not I don't think it's a good card to play. It's okay to give signs, to give hints, you know, to put it out there. And if the guy asks you, I mean, there's nothing wrong with, you know, laying it out there. But sometimes when you're the one asking, it means that you become the one to defend it. You don't have the opportunity to play the female role where you are chased, where you are hunted, you know, then he's on his tiptoe to make sure that he treats you right. Then you are on your tiptoe to make sure that the relationship is still maintained. That's another side to it. But I think that basically a lot of things have happened from school. A lot of things have been said, some of which you may not be privy to. Some of which probably he was threatened by other boys in his, you know, dorm or hall, whichever school, you know, yeah. And it's probably eaten into him. So it's not made the relationship very healthy. And normally once a relationship gets to a stage where the partner really doesn't want to spend time with you, I mean, he's with you, but he's not with you, you'd rather be on his phone, you can't strike a conversation, and you feel something is wrong, I think that you should not give in to the apologies. I think you just need to walk out, count your losses and walk out, and then learn from it, and then be in a more mature relationship with somebody who wants to be in the relationship with you. That's what I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Gil, are you on the same train of thought?
Yeah, I agree with what you said at the last end. Of course, I mean, she has to walk away because from day one, it looked like she was on a solo project. It was just, she was on her own because first of all, she said she thought the guy might like her, but because of what people were saying, it wasn't making a move. But how can you even think that way? As long as the person hasn't made a move, how can you think for the person and say it's because someone, you know, he wasn't into you that much? It's not, so you should have also thought that way. And even if at the end of the day you were able to get into contact with him and you must have talked about, you know, little, you know, feelings for each other, whatever. But at the end of the day, you should have allowed things to grow. Watch how it grows. Watch how you respond to each other. See if you're compatible. See if he matches some of your standards. But it looks like it's just all about, I'm in a relationship with this guy. I'm in a relationship with this guy. The guy is not calling you. He's not contributing anything, and it looks like he's just pleasing you by the responses. Anytime you complain, he will say sorry. Doesn't do anything. You do. It's like both of you are carrying a sofa, and he's left the whole weight for you. You are on this end carrying it, and he's just there like that, and you're like, hey, carry, and it's like, okay, and then he dozes off.
Right.
That's what's
exactly
going on.
That's exactly what's happening.
So I don't get what she wants someone to tell her. You don't have to beg someone to put their money where their mouth is. If someone is saying something, let them show it. It has to grow. So if you feel like you're doing all the work, why are you there? Making yourself miserable. Because from what you're saying, there's nothing for someone to say, okay, hold on, or try this way. You went to his house, he will say sorry. Now you're saying you're afraid that what? I don't even get what she's trying to say. She's afraid that, she said she loves the guy.
Right, she still loves him.
And it's just 1 month.
Yeah, I mean, what's she talking about? Like, what are you talking about? She's like Rosina said, like at the end of the day, this is not a relationship. I don't know where the guy's head is at, but obviously he's not interested in you that way. Maybe he can't even just tell you outright that, you know what, I don't want this. Maybe he's just being too nice. So you say, okay, I'm sorry, and then he doesn't put in the work. Yeah. So please, just Charlie, it's sad listening to the whole thing. Yeah.
That it's gone on for as long as it has.
I mean, she should just, Charlie.
Olivia,
as Sabi would say, she should mourn the whatever and just move on.
Yeah.
She should mourn the relationship and move on.
Olivia has her hands on her head, like her temples, like.
Yeah, I mean,
girl, talk to me.
When a smile is bro like that, what is coming up?
What is coming is this thing, heavy.
No. Today they are cool. But you see, she mentioned some important points for me that are very, very important in every relationship. She said there is no communication, there's no romance, there's no attention, there's no care, and some other things as well. And you see, in most relationships, if you can't communicate that, what does it mean? Are you going or are you coming? It doesn't even give you room to even get to know the person. That is why I always say that it's very important. The foundation of every relationship is good communication. I mean, if your partner does something, right, and the communication is always a one-way. It has to be two-way. It can't be one person constantly talking about their feelings, constantly complaining, constantly, at the short end of the stick. And clearly, my dear, you are at the short end of the stick. The foundation of the relationship, like I always say, is not one that's heading in the right direction, if you ask me. And I mean, like my sisters have said, just 1 month, hell. I always, I would like to ask you, okay, to sit back, okay, look at what's happening, try and reflect, ask yourself, is this the kind of relationship you see yourself in the next 2 years? It's just 1 month though, even 1 year. Do you see yourself constantly complaining to this guy and this guy being indifferent about his reaction? Changes 1 second, and after the next is like, okay, he's back to his normal self. This relationship is not for you. Maybe you don't know. And I would like to join the sisters to tell you that this relationship is not for you. This guy, you may be ready for the relationship in which you're in right now, but this guy clearly isn't. From day one, he told you when you decided, oh, you really like him. He told you, he said to you, hey, in a nice way, he kind of said to you, oh, he doesn't want other guys who like you to come and beat him or something. So you, dear, like he's minding his own business. And then he let it go. And then he went back, thought about it, and decided to come back to you and ask you out. So you asked him out, he was indecisive, he gave you some excuse, but he decided, he took the decision to come back to ask you out and go out with you. So it means that he reflected on the decision. But it could also mean that after he even asked you out, he's never been ready. He's not the kind of person to be in a relationship. Or genuinely and technically, you're probably and maybe just not the one for him. Don't beat yourself too much, okay? like Sally always says, don't see it as a loss. Learn from your rich experiences that you've got and run with it. Don't stay in this relationship. It will do you no good. You will be depressed. You end up acquiring all sorts of weird habits. You'll be nagging. You'll be sad. It will drain you, your real personality. And this, my dear, the 1 month is usually the lovey-dovey time whereby, oh, you're eager to know each other. Hey, you're talking to Charlie. You know, I like beans and cocoa. I like watching. So, Charlie, well, I mean, can we have some to eat? What do you really like to do? Do you like horse riding? Do you like to ride motorbikes? Let's go out. Let's do this together. But, Charlie, it's like you're the only one talking. And the guy said, Charlie, you know the biz. So... Sweetheart, look at what you want. It's supposed to be give and take. Relationships are supposed to be about give and take. You love the person loves you in return. Okay, they're kind to you, they're empathetic of you, they make you trust you, they create opportunities for dialogue. In most relationships, when you look at the curve or when you look at the life cycle of most relationships that actually thrive on good communication, love, and trust, and like I always say, good sex and all of that. After how many years down the line, you find out people who've been married for like 60 years, 70 years, you know, they're probably not having great sex, but the communication is great and the love is there. So it's not always about the sex or the romance or whatever, but they've been able to make things work and bring themselves together through love and understanding and communication and empathy. How many years down the line? So they'll be like 90 years together, but they're still happy because the foundation is solid, the foundation is strong. And sweetheart, I don't think that that's the kind of relationship in which you're in right now. I think the earlier you leave him, the better, because you're the only one in this relationship and you don't want to do that to yourself. Sometimes it's good to love yourself. So love yourself and expect nothing. Don't bring the standards down. Have some kind of standards. Have some kind of expectation as to how you expect a man to treat you. And then when you go out there with so much positivity and you know who you are, it resonates and you attract that kind of person. And don't be desperate for love. Like the sisters say, if you find somebody and you think you like the person, just make sure that the person's on the same page. Allow the guy to come and chase you. I think it adds a bit of excitement to it. It has to be two-way. Okay, and most of the time, the men who really, really are into the women and go the extra mile to get them, when they get them and they're actually the good guys who actually know a good thing and they find a good thing, they do whatever it takes to keep it. So a word to the wise, my dear, like they say, is enough.
And in this case, a couple of words to the wise. Yeah. Let me just add my voice. I mean, so this whole message, Anne, there's only one thing that jumped out at me. She says she went to him, expressed her feelings towards him. His response was he didn't want to basically trouble from the guys who were chasing her. For a guy who really likes you, he won't say that.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't say that though. Exactly. That's his opportunity right there to jump in and take over. Yeah. Do you understand? Yeah. For me, that was the first red flag that you missed. Yeah. I don't think he's into you at all. I think he probably you said he came back later, he changed his mind. He probably wants to tell his friends, hey, some girl, they film you how they're like, oh, Charlie, manage him, you know? Yeah. That kind of thing.
And he started the manager was the manager.
Yeah. You know, and so that's what he did. So and you're talking about no romance, no this. You want to bet you probably dropped your knickers. He's got what he wants. Yeah. So it's time to move on. You know, he's not even in this. You're in that relationship alone. Exactly. So Charlie, just leave the man. It's okay. He's done some. You know, let him go.
Have done some.
Yeah, you've also done some. Let him go and feel free. Couple of messages coming through for this lady. Akia says, sounds like my ex. Leave him, I beg. With no explanations. Take time off, heal, find someone better, move on. Make sure he sees you've moved on. You deserve better for all this effort. Lungu says, there's no confusion here. The guy has zero interest in you. Zeros in capital letters. Move on, please. You deserve better. And next time, let the guy chase you. Connie says, please, Anne, don't add more mouths to this already wasted. No, don't add more months to this already wasted 1 month. He should be able to communicate with you no matter what, even if it's once a day. But for a whole week, and he doesn't want a breakup, why? Is he ghosting you the way? No, it says the way he's ghosting you, just do same. Case closed. The only thing is she loves him. Albie says, this girl, are you serious? You're waiting for Jesus to descend from the sky before you see the sign that you're unimportant to this guy. Continue giving him chances, like as our original payoff. Lexus says, Auntie Araba University graduate, I beg. You don't need any advice. Why? You just want him to tell you that it's not working. Just take yourself out of the equation. Love is not supposed to be one-sided. It drains you totally when you always have to call the shots. Matilda says, maybe someone threatened him and may have told lies to him about you and he can't ask you, hence the attitude. Mercy says, some men are like that. They don't break up verbally, but their actions will tell you he doesn't want you again. Wise up and let go of him. These are the men who later come back with the excuse that they didn't tell you it's over.
Yes.
Hey, that is annoying.
It's true.
Don't try. Don't try. Mame finally says, young lady, the guy is not a bad person, but he doesn't love you and doesn't know how to communicate it to you. Amos 33 says, how can two walk together unless they agree? There's no agreement between you two. Relationships are built by two people and not just one person. Let him go. The signs have been written on the wall already. It's Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM. Keep watching, keep listening. We will be right back.
Hello, viewers. I'm feeling very frustrated and bored in Sambulai. I'm very happy. If you don't understand, don't worry, because myself, I don't understand. In this edition, Vodafone Ghana has now made it possible to send money from Vodafone Cash to all network free. We'll cross over to our senior reporter for more details.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing in front downtown. You know, I'm learning to make a bluff. I'm not funny, I just said. Vodafone, I'm not quite said. Ultimate Sanisika to Topia, Emily to Topia, Echo all the network. I will check up there. Me Tissi Montezo, Diamond Falcon.
Fifia, Matendo says, don't you put on charges, Manomi? Joe, you bro, charges on your womb low, at the Hamonyo. A beer says, do the hand, charges of Clendan.
Handing and you may fail on me. Send Amanika charges, no charges. I met G. Naka charges, when we know money cafe BP. Oh, and if for
For me, I do a lot of online transactions. I just here. See, the excitement for me is that I get to save a lot on Vodafone Cash.
Please put me down.
I'm so excited. I can now send money to all networks without any charges.
Me ye Jadiniba. A bribia says a michia majuma your forecam. Sika michia set charges no. And do so do. Nancy say dear. Make the Vodafone Cash.
Sending money on Vodafone Cash to all networks is now free. Send any amount of money as many times as you like to all networks for free. Dial *110# now to send money.
Any amount for Masumo. Studio 2. Put him in car. And yeah, Muso Mame.
This is the red news. Apologize.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Hey, stop! You little man. Just see him go. This baby can run all day long. I wonder what I would do if there were two of him. I am very happy I decided to wait before having another child. Luckily, I met a family planning advisor at a salon who gave me great advice. I also claimed the Advantage Secure gifts. Now I can space the birth of my children as I want. With Secure, I decide.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
And you're welcome back, Sister Citi TV, Citi FM. We're live across Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, on DSTV channel 363 as well. The show is brought to you by Vodafone. It's also brought to you by Secure. Secure is a pill, a low-dose oral contraceptive pill that's taken by women to prevent unintended pregnancies. And so if you want to take control of your life, you know, Secure actually provides the modern woman with a convenient way to plan her lifestyle, and it's been protecting families for over 30 years. Certainly has the credibility. Secure, I mean, you decide. With Secure, you decide. We'll go into our next message for the show, and it says, I'm 22, he's 24. We're both tertiary students, and we've dated for almost 3 years now. My problem is the fact that we keep on getting intimate, and I'm not too happy about it. This is because I'm very religious and he isn't. Also, I'm scared of getting pregnant because we're both not ready for a baby. Well, he uses protection whenever we get intimate, but my integrity is my concern. Sisters, my conscience is not clear, and I feel my integrity is dwindling by the minute. In a bid to convince me that I'm in good hands, he suggested we have a blood covenant to enable us, or to assure me of his sincerity and love. Truth is, he has never cheated on me before. Sadly, I've broken up with him because of the constant fornication, which is against my religious beliefs. On the other hand, I'm worried that I may have to let a good guy go who loves me, and that's not what I would want. I need very good advice on what to do. Please help a confused sister. The confusion is evident. Gail. Gail, weigh in on this for me.
So she did the blood covenant thing?
No, she didn't.
Okay. So what's the problem now? She's left the guy, but she's worried if she's let a good guy go.
Right.
When it comes to sex and then religion, it's always I have to be very, very sensitive because I'm not very religious. So if I say what I think, they will eat me up.
Just go for it. If that's what you believe, that's what
I'm just trying to like warm up to what I'm
But now you're warning people. Just go ahead and say what you need to say.
So for me, certain things that the religion makes us feel is sin, I don't see it as a sin.
Okay.
Because when you like somebody, there's chemistry and everything. One of the most important ways that you express how you desire the person is through sex, being, intimate and stuff like that. So for me, if I meet someone, I like the person, I have feelings for the person. I mean, my energy, everything, connects with the person. I don't see anything wrong if I have sex with the person, because I mean, chemistry and is nature. It's not something you create. It's just there. So if it's there and I meet someone and we have sex to climax everything, I don't see anything wrong with it for me.
Right.
But this lady says she's religious, and that's what
her up.
Bible. Yeah.
Right.
So, and you said the guy is not. Sometimes, from my experience, I say I'm open-minded, so I can date people who are religious and I'm not. But I realize that because of the way they feel, sometimes it makes things very difficult, because you're open-minded, you wouldn't really care about all those things, but you can't also force people to go against what they also believe. So sometimes you see that it would be best if both of you, at least to certain areas that could be deal breakers, because now it looks like for her, having sex before marriage is a deal breaker, and she had to do it because of maybe she liked the guy and everything, but still, she is still killing her. And the guy wants it, and because they've already started having sex already, it will be difficult to say, then let's not do it, let's wait. So if that's how she feels, and the guy is not, I don't think the guy can just say he won't have sex. I'm not a guy, but I know that most times with the guys, it's not like with women. Women can stay for a very long time without having sex. For the guy, as soon as he feels the edge, he has to find a place to, to
play.
yeah. but ladies don't really do that. So
not all ladies say.
Okay, no, you know what I mean.
yeah,
like there's exceptions and there's a rule. Like I mean, generally, I mean, most men can just be there like that, unless you're connected to somebody. How do you call it? Emotionally. If you have the urge for sex, you may think about that person. If it's not around, usually you'll be like, okay, well, he's not around. But with the guys, it's different. It's like, I'm hungry, I have to eat something. So whatever I get, you see. So it will be hard for him. So I think that she has to just let the guy go. And if she's ready, or if the guy is ready and she feels like they are ready to get married, then maybe, because you can't ask him to wait. You can't ask him to wait for you. That's not fair. You see, if you don't take care, the guy might say, okay, I'll wait for you. But then for all you know, he may be getting his, body no be firewood. So you'll be getting, stuff going on outside the relationship. And then you're going to be like, oh, he's cheating and blah, 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 blah. So you just have to end it and, do your religion thing. If when you're ready to get married and he is also ready to get married, then you can start having your sex after marriage. That's the only thing I can say, because I don't think this guy can. I don't think it's fair to ask him to wait. Sometimes we expect our partners to do certain things which we know sometimes it's very hard to stick to.
Right.
So I mean, she feels she can't have him. She can't have him and then also expect him to wait. She has to let one go.
It's either or.
Yeah.
There has to be some compromise.
There has to be something's got to give. She has to make some sacrifice. So either you lose the guy or you, I don't want to say compromise, but I mean, it's your choice. So you have to lose one.
All right.
Yes.
Livy, let me come to you. What do you think?
I'm going to tackle this based on the fact that she said she's religious. So I'm going to look at it from a Christian perspective and from what I believe as a Christian. So you have probably been brought up, based on strong Christian principles, and which is to keep your body as the temple of God, don't engage in fornication, adultery because of X, Y, and Z. And really, I can understand where you're coming from. You have a conscience, and your conscience is strongly at work. Okay, the thing is, I think that you need to go back to basics. I think that you need to invest a lot of your time in studying the Word of God a bit more and finally asking yourself, are you religious based on what your parents told you, or do you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ? Because it makes a big difference. You are more, it's not about what you literally hear and you're going by, like, certain rules, so you have to, it's about your confidence in Christ and what is expected of you as a true, strong, believing Christian. And clearly, you've had serious mental battles, emotional battles with you yourself, your relationship with God, and you know that you're not supposed to be doing this. So you've broken up with him. Sweetheart, I think you're on the right path. This guy, in a bid to make you feel comfortable about the entire intimacy thing, decided to offer you this blood
covenant
thing. For me, it's a no. Because you're 22. You were so young, my dear. There's so much in life to experience besides one guy shagging you 24/7. There's so much to life. Really, there is. I'm sure you haven't even traveled the world. You haven't even invested so much in educating yourself. I don't know where you're at now, and I do apologize, and I do stand to be corrected. But really, there's so much more to life than this guy. And trust me, if you have to find somebody who shares the same beliefs as you do, okay, because I think this thing has come up in conversations. You've expressed how you feel. You feel guilty. You feel dirty after every stand. Who wants to feel like that? Okay, that is why, for me, the Bible says that find somebody who loves you and get married. Okay, it's not always about getting the cars, the big house, basics. You can get a simple house, both of you can live in. You can shop 24/7 and not feel bad. You don't necessarily have to even have kids immediately. Huh? When I met my husband, we dated for the longest time. We got married, even after we got married in 2007. We had our first child in 2010, by which time we knew each other. You know, we knew each other, we understood each other, we knew he understood my beliefs, I appreciated his, he appreciated mine. We were strong Christians, we had a goal, a focus, we knew what we wanted together. Okay, so it's not about one person. Are you going to feel bad all your life? What do you want? If you think he's good and he thinks that you're good enough, then I don't know, I think he should be marrying you on a low-cost budget, some simple engagement somewhere, and not investing in blood covenants. That what you go and use to buy the blade and those things. He should respect you. Mademoiselle, I know that you people are doing it suits me, it suits you, but Charlie, what's the entire objective of your relationship? Where do both of you see each other? Okay, do your parents know each other? Is it a relationship that you know, oh, because you really love him and he really loves you, it's heading somewhere? Is he a Bible-believing Christian just as you are? Or how do you see yourself? How does this guy even see you? Does he feel empathetic every time you guys have sex and you feel guilty? Does he feel the way you feel? All of this for me are red flags. And trust me, you don't want to be carrying so much guilt in your head when you can be enjoying a beautiful, fruitful relationship. So, and clearly, this is also not the time to be pressurizing him to marrying you. You've broken up with him. For me, I feel that if he was very serious about you, he would have appreciated where you're coming from and your emotions and yourself as a Christian. And as a young Christian as well coming up, I think it's not always about going to church to mark the register. It's not always about satisfying your religious conscience and beliefs and putting it as being religious. If you're a Bible-believing Christian, faith-praying, Christian for Christ, you have to be proud about it and you have to own it and you have to go according to the word of God. That will open up the blessings of heaven into your life. And clearly this isn't. So don't feel bad about it. I feel like you've taken the best decision to let it go. I don't think that you should be engaged into getting into this blood covenant thing, because I know for 110, like I'm so certain that you're still in love with him. Should he come knocking the door again, you will still open up. So this is the time I think that if he's serious about you, you can talk to him about making your relationship official, doing things the right way. If he's ready to do the things the right way and to honor you and give respect to your parents and give respect to you, no problem. You guys can have a low budget with engagements, nothing over the bar. Settle down, enjoy the relationship and move on. And I think you can enjoy your life until he's ready to do that. I think that I don't think it's a relationship you should be in. You should rather try and enjoy life, try and get to find yourself more, try and invest a bit more into having a relationship with Jesus Christ and move on with your life. That's what I honestly think.
Okay, let's come in studio. Rosina, what do you think?
I think that sex is different things to different people. So for some people, sex is just a physical, emotional, mental exercise, just to release some correct hormones. So for some, it's just some exercise. Yeah, it's stress reliever. And then for some people, especially for some women, most women, the art of sex is a gift to show their love for you. Yes. So for those women, those are the category of women that when things hit the fan, they go like, I gave him my virginity and I gave him my body and he took from me. And then for some people, sex is something that takes the relationship to the next level. So it's a bonding activity. And then for some people, sex is a spiritual exercise. But for some people, sex is actually a spiritual act of worship within the sanctity of a marriage. So it depends on where you find yourself on that scale. Right. And some of these things, they sit on our very beliefs. So don't kid yourself. I keep saying that, look, the best thing is to abstain before you get married. Not even for moral reasons, just because, you see, when you're not sexually involved with somebody, it's very easy to get up, pick up your bag and say, hey, dude, you know what, you're not good for me, I'm walking away.
Right.
But when you start having sex, you realize that you can't even see the bad things in the relationship. You can't even identify the problems, because if it's good, it clouds your judgment. It's like he's doing something horrible, you want to step out, but Charlie, it's good.
That's why it's good. You take it like that.
Charlie, it's still solid, so you know you are still there. That's the best thing. But my dear, if you have to have sex, no matter what your beliefs are, you need to own it. You see, you need to own it. It has to be your decision, and you need to be comfortable with it. Now, the moment you're not comfortable with it, it means that that relationship is not good for you. Sometimes, yes, it's about the other person understanding where you're coming from, understanding your principles, yes. But ultimately, the decision lies with you. You can't expect other people to keep understanding you and then bending themselves backwards. Sometimes you need to select from that pool that aligns with your religious beliefs, your principles, your ideologies. You see, you can't have a couple that think alike in every sense of the word. But there are some topics, or there are some areas that you guys need to be in sync. Other than that, you realize that if it doesn't bring wahala in the beginning, it will bring wahala in the end. So if one person is attaching so much importance to the sex, and for the other person it's just a laissez-faire thing, I mean, things happen, and then you can't even break up with the person because you've given in your all and you've done this. So my dear, it's good that you've broken up with him. He's a nice gentleman, but unfortunately both of you don't share the same. You're not meeting at a certain point. And looking at your ages, 22 and 24, you guys have a long room ahead of you before you, because he's still in school.
Yeah, quite young.
And now, let's say the job market is not that easy. If you want to be an entrepreneur, or you probably want to work in a company, it's not that easy. So I don't see when he's going to settle down to, if you want to get married. So even asking him to perform marriage rites, even as at now, is a big ask. So it's good that you are out of the relationship, but you just need to own your relationships. You see, there are certain principles when there are things that eat you up, that sits on your soul. Because I know someone, Charlie, she and the girl, they thought that they could do. Then after the act, the guy will go in bath and start praying and asking God for forgiveness.
Wow.
How? Then when you finish, you pray, you clean yourself, then you say, okay, then because of what you've done, that Sunday you won't go to church. Because sorry, I want to be in Bombay, I want to be near you, feel dirty. Then you postpone the time at 2 months, then you do it again, then you go through the whole process again. You see, it's torture. It's torture because it's sitting on your very beliefs, which I do not have control over. That is your belief. So I think that when it comes to relationship, sex, religion, tribal issues, and some of these money issues, some of these things that are very, very petty and can easily be deal breakers, you and your partner need to be on the same level. You can differ on which team to support, Hearts, Kotoko, Manchester United, Chelsea. You can differ on things like that. You can have arguments and debates on certain things, but definitely not on things like this. Otherwise, and the Black Covenant, my dear, my dear, even if you're engaged, even if you're married, don't do any Black Covenants. Please. I don't know why. For what?
It's love.
What is the essence of, you see?
It's love.
You see, I'm not super religious, but okay, let's say I'm not churchy, but I'm very spiritual when it comes to certain things. Now, that blood covenant, you see, when you mix the blood, the idea is that you can never really separate it.
How do you know what tomorrow brings?
And tomorrow you realize that this guy will show you some true colors you don't want to be with. You want to move on, but your soul is tied to the previous one. And even if it is not true that your soul is actually tied, psychologically, because you feel that your soul is tied, you keep thinking about the older one that say, no, this guy, I did a Black covenant with him, and he's not good for me. He went and married somebody else, I went to marry somebody else. Then as soon as that person's marriage even breaks down, you think that now your covenant partner is available for you, and you start misbehaving with what you have. So as for the Black covenant thing, I don't even know who even thought about it, or who even decided to do Black covenant. Sometimes you see young people, Charlie,
I think we saw in the movies, no?
Charlie, you know, and you be and they adapt you. And sometimes when you are doing certain things, you need to know the consequences of your actions. So for me, Black covenant is a no for me under any circumstance. Why would you want to do that? I mean, you mix your blood, forget even spirituality. Now what you're just give it to each other like that for no reason.
Just like that.
Charlie, now. No. I mean, let's not go. Let's not do the black covenant thing. But by all means, I don't think this is a relationship for you. It's not about the sex being right or wrong.
Or he being good or what?
Oh yes, or he being good or
You,
bad.
how you feel?
This is a deal breaker. This is something that sits on your soul. So maybe you should just not entertain it.
No, you said it all, Charlie. That'd be the whole story. I have nothing else to add to that. I mean, if you don't believe in it, then you've taken the right decision. It'll hurt, but it's okay. You'll get over it. You're just 22. Take it from us. We've been around for a little while. We'll go for a quick commercial break. It's Sister Sister on Citi TV and Citi FM.
Ghana goes to the polls on December 7th, and Citi TV gets to work. From 6 a.m. on December 7th, bringing you all the action and reports with our correspondents covering all 275 constituencies. Be assured of exhaustive and definitive coverage of Ghana's 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. Our team of seasoned journalists will dissect the issues and give minute-by-minute account of the election. Bernard Avler, Vivian Kai Loko, Kojo Akoto Boateng, Nathan Kwa, Frema Edunyame, Abena Nyameche Ampedu, Salom Adonu, Umaru Sanda Amadou, Zoe Abubeju, Duke Mensa Opoku, Nana Tufo, the Election Bureau, Ghana's election covered. Coverage starts at 6 a.m. on December 7th on Citi TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
Atisai.
Medase, Mary Papa, Navansway.
I'll try it. Now it's coming.
Nice. You do well.
Thank
Wow.
you.
What's it like being the daughters of an ambassador?
There are, of course, many good parts, but then there are also some aspects that are hard for us as a family, for us just as individuals. I mean, it's hard to know that you're going to be moving from one country to another every 3 or 4 years.
I think settling down in countries is always, sometimes it can be difficult, but there's many good parts to it, like exploring new countries, and yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Didn't know what to study. I always liked history. That was my subject. So I was tempted between studying history in Zurich or going to St. Gallen and study economy.
Oh wow, history and economics. Well, I mean, they're still related, right? You
It's
find.
related, and I always had a keen interest on economic affairs.
Okay.
But at the end, I followed my heart, and I started studying history in Zurich.
Welcome back, Sister Sister, Citi TV, Citi FM. Our WhatsApp number 054-998-6996. You can send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com. Shows brought to you by Vodafone and Secure. We'll go into our next message, and it says, I have dated this lady for 4 years, and I really love her and want to make her my wife. The issue is she has an ex-boyfriend whom she still keeps in touch with and always tells me she can't ignore him because they aren't at loggerheads. This ex has expressed interest in marrying her and even gone ahead to make his intentions known to her uncles. Whenever I bring up the idea about us getting married, she doesn't say anything concrete. Another problem is that both she and her ex are Muslims. I am a Christian. I'm really scared and disturbed about this whole issue. What should I do?
Wow.
Livy, coming for you.
Hi. Okay. Like I always say, if the person you're in a relationship with feels that their ex is much important than you are, then I don't think it's a relationship you should be in. You should allow your partner to go and be happy with their ex, because I mean, for how long are you going to be? I mean, you raised the issue concerning marriage with her. She doesn't say anything. You know all these details about her ex. It means that her ex has come up numerous times for you to even find out the fact that he's Muslim, and she's being smart. Okay, she's playing you conveniently and big time. Clearly, the ex didn't marry her because of X, Y, and Z, and you hopped in. She didn't close that relationship. And she's like, well, she still loves her ex. She doesn't really love you, but you're here and you're available and you're really into her. But what she really wants is her ex. So she really likes her exes. Maybe, you never know, she really loves her ex's ex. Maybe you don't even do a good job. I'm just saying that. Sorry, I may be compounding your problem, but it is what it is. Okay, the ex, she's busy chatting her ex. So if she's busy chatting her ex, at which point in time are you going to be busy chatting her up to even be able to get to know her a bit more? Going back to what we initially said about one of the foundations or most important foundations of every relationship being effective communication, back and forth, not one way. So she's investing her time, her energy, her resources, her credit into calling Mr. X. And she has gone to the extent of telling you that Mr. X has even decided to marry her. So, you see, I know it's heartbreaking. I know that sometimes we as sisters, when we sit here, it's like, hey, oh, name the makuma ekosu. But, my dear, love me. You are supposed to give it, and the person will give it to you willingly. Free of charge, deservingly. Clearly, this girl she's using you. Should something go wrong here with her ex, who also shares the same religion as she does, she will come to you. Until then, as far as she's concerned, everything is going according to plan and schedule. She didn't give you a yes or no when you decided you wanted to marry her. For me, I'm a little son sitting here. The fact that she can't tell me yes or no when I decided to marry her is a red flag. That means she doesn't know what she wants. She hasn't hidden her communication with her ex from you. You know so much about this ex. I'm sure she probably knows so much about this ex more than she does you. Clearly, you just came along with the line. So she's making do with you. And no one wants to feel like that. Love should not be like this. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you think you love her so much and you can't get over her. But she should want you the same way. She should respect you the same way. She should respect your feelings enough to stop all communication with the ex, because you are the current person she's in a relationship with. There's a reason why they're called exes. So technically, however you want to look at it, my dear, you are the ex and her ex is the guy who happens to be the reigning champion in the relationship. And you don't want that. For me, I will pick my bag and I will call it a day, because the girl does not really want to be with you. You have religious hurdles, not religious, you have this whole Christian and Muslim, battles to face, because the guy shares the same sentiments as she does, the guy shares the same goals, the same religion as she does, beliefs as she does, and clearly you're not. Can you imagine her having to go and convince her father, who is Muslim, that she's going to be marrying a Christian guy? Masa, you are not in a relationship, right? You know, take your heart, you know, what is left of your heart, treasure it, and get out of the relationship and find somebody who loves you for you.
All
You
right.
know, when you find somebody who loves you for you, they love you for you and they don't treat you like that.
True that.
Okay.
All right, Livy. Let me come in studio. Gail, what do you think?
Okay, you see, I'm just wondering how this so-called ex is still, that he still has access to your family. How is he able to go to your uncles, first of all, for them to even listen to him, and then for him to say he wants to marry you? So the question is, why, if you say you broke up with him, what exactly happened? And how come, aside that, he's still, connecting with your family? You know, when
Maybe
it
you
comes
had a
to
good
family,
relationship with him.
so then in that case, the guy should be worried. He should be worried.
This guy in the current
new guy,
relationship,
because this guy still has access. Yeah, maybe they broke up because of maybe something the guy did, but still, the relationship, you see, when family accepts your partner and stuff like that, it's based on way, because in Africa, family is very, very important.
Right.
So as long as they listen to you and you're able to tell them you want to marry the lady, it's like the guy knows the family, still likes him. So this guy should be worried. And then secondly, this guy we're talking about, you're talking about 4 years. Sometimes people are so worried about the fact that, I've been with somebody for that long, so the next thing is to get married. But if you have all these things that you're carrying on your head about this guy in the background for all these years, you tell you brought up the marriage thing, she didn't say anything.
Right.
So for me, I think you've been dating yourself all this while. And then you are right to worry about the religion thing, because for me, I know that when it comes to the Muslim thing, they stick to their own power.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You need to find out why, even if she claims it's his ex, he's her ex, why are they still connected? And no matter what, she still, entertains the guy. You have to be worried about that, So I'm thinking that, as Olivia said, if I were you, pack your bags if you have any. Just pack them. Just just let her be.
Yeah.
Let her be.
Right.
Yeah.
Rosie, you have a final word.
Well, quickly, I just think that they were dating and the man was probably not doing Amelia quickly. And she was getting frustrated, and then she decided to move on. But she was somebody that the family really liked. So the family welcomed him like, oh, our husband. They'll speak their own language. They have their own things going on. But because he wasn't doing the needful, the lady decided to move on to somebody else. So once the ex, but the love connection was still there. So yours was just an extra time affair to see whether, if all else fails, then you are the McCoy. Look, I keep saying here all the time, once you're in a relationship, your ex should be an entity as far as your relationship is concerned. The moment you choose your ex, communication with your ex, dealings with your ex over your current relationship, means you don't respect that current relationship. There are relationships where they do well with their exes, but it has to be both partners need to be comfortable with it. Simple. 2, this Christian-Muslim thing, people have done it and have succeeded, but it is a difficult terrain.
Yeah.
So if you are going to go into that terrain, you need to make sure that both of you are 100% in. You cannot attempt that terrain where the lady is 85% somewhere and is only doing 15% with you. You cannot succeed. 3, 4 years is better than 10 years. You've done 4 years, yes. It's a bit difficult, yes. It's better than 10 years. So my dear, that is not your relationship. That is not your battle to fight. I think that work out, find a woman who loves you, wants to be with you. The family would accept you. You yourself, you'll be happy, and then move on. But this one, there is not a relationship. She's using you small, so she gets married. That's all I have to say.
Right. Okay, well, we'll end the conversation here. It's been a great, great, great episode. If you have questions that you'd like to send us, maybe that you're going through something peculiar you'd like an opinion on, this is the platform to send it to. Just send an email to jessica@citifmonline.com. But thanks for your audience, for your comments, and everything else. Ladies, thank you also for your time.
Thank you.
To our sponsors, Vodafone Secure, thank you so much for powering this episode every single time. My name is Jessica. We'll be back same time next week. Goodbye for now.